Hello, friends. Good morning, good evening. I'm very happy to reach out to invite you to listen to this podcast to share my experience and thoughts on this important matter of contamination in the bunkers supplied in Singapore. Viswa Group has already published technical update on the 1st of March 2022 sounding the alarm on the presence of high levels of organic chlorides in bunkers supplied in Singapore. The vessels that used this fuel experienced wear and seizure of fuel pumps, high level of sludge generation, and damage to filter candles, etc. This story of bunker fuel quality problems gives a feeling of deja vu with regard to organic chlorides contamination, which took place in the port of Singapore in 2001. There have been other cases of organic chlorides contamination, one in Fujairah in the year 2004, when 20 ships experienced serious machinery problems. Now, what makes organic chloride so sensitive and important is the fact that all refineries set the limit for presence of organic chlorides at as low as 5 ppm. However, the family of organic chlorides has as many as 41 members, each having a different boiling point at which it will boil away. For example, in the GCMS headspace screening, the industry looks for 3 organic chlorides, namely dichloroethane, tetrachloroethane, and chloroform. The boiling point of these 3 is under 90 degrees centigrade. It is, of course, possible to extend the range of organic chlorides to be tested by increasing this temperature. The industry is also trying to follow the ASTM method, which covers 29 contaminants usually found in bunker fuel. But please note that this does not provide you with full protection because the number of contaminants keeps increasing. Currently, Viswa Group covers more than 130 contaminants in the full-scale GCMS analysis. I will share some more information on the current contamination case in Singapore. Singapore port authorities have stated that the contaminated bunker fuel was supplied by Glencore and sold to about 200 ships. The contamination was confined to high sulfur fuels only, and after MPA took quick action, the problem has not recurred. Before the MPA notification could reach, suppliers like PetroChina International had already supplied to a number of ships in the port of Singapore. Out of 200 ships which received these contaminated bunkers, 80 vessels have reported various problems with fuel pumps and engines. MPA report also states that the blended product was sourced from overseas and it contained about 15,000 ppm of COC. We have no doubt MPA will take serious action, and it's a tribute to their vigilance and diligence that another case of contamination is taking place in the port of Singapore after nearly 21 years, during which time there had been and there has been no significant problem. The most effective solution is to use technology and reduce reliance on manual procedures. There are multiple technologies available today which can facilitate this. We can use blockchain to create a secure record of fuel quality and even quantity, and machine learning technologies analyze the properties of the fuels and raise cautionary notes when changes are taking place due to contamination or adulteration. The question on the mind of listeners is, okay, what is the solution? How do we prevent this from happening given the current situation? while blockchain and other technologies will take time to get implemented, we recommend that every fuel buyer insists on getting certificate of quality, which will include a full GCMS screening so that any contamination or adulteration can be identified and quantified. It is a very costly exercise to carry out a debunkering operation after a bad fuel has been received on the ship. But even more costly than this is to experience and suffer the damage because of a bad quality fuel. Now, having addressed the immediate problem, I would like to share with you what we are doing to mitigate this problem. Most labs carry out testing and advise the results. Some labs also try to interpret the results to provide a diagnosis of any problem. We in Viswa believe in not only analyzing and interpreting the results, but also providing solutions for potential problems. This is why Viswa is referred to as a problem-solving lab. It may not be known to many of you that it was Viswa which employed GCMS in 1994 to investigate a contamination problem which completely ruined the fuel pumps and cylinder components on a ship and delayed the ship by 21 days. In this case, we identified the presence of organic chlorides to the extent of 51 ppm, and this was enough to cause all this havoc and damage. We carry a huge database of problems and investigations and solutions and multiple algorithms we have developed based on data analytics. Big data allows us to generate benchmarks for fuel quality and other algorithm-based numbers which will indicate potential problems. The original GCMS instrument, which I had handled as a scientist in NASA, occupied a full 10-foot by 10-foot room. Now, with all the improvements in instrumentation, a GCMS is almost the size of a tabletop. At this time, I also want to recall the role we played with regard to the huge contamination problem in the port of Houston experienced between January and June of 2018. 41 vessels reported their problems to us, and we estimate over 150 vessels experienced this problem. This single most serious Houston fuel problem in 3 decades. And we published 15 technical updates as the problems and the contamination cases kept on increasing and evolving. And the Houston contamination case was highly complex since there were multiple sources of contamination, and apparently a number of waste streams from a number of petrochemical plants were collected and offered to some suppliers who purchased this at a low price and used it as cutter stock. We realize that this podcast may provide some important information to you, but it is likely to raise more questions for which you will seek answers. For instance, you would want to know what are the 41 organic chlorides? What are their boiling points? How can we get rid of some of them, and how can we not worry about some of them, and so on and so forth. With all this at heart, we'll be offering an opportunity for all of you to participate in a joint discussion on this problem. We believe this will be some kind of a get-together, remote of course, and will be open to all the participants from all over the globe, where we will share information and try to answer frequently asked questions. In addition to this, we will also circulate a book which will address all the issues discussed. This book will be similar to the highly popular book we published at the time of Houston contamination story, with full detailed methods followed, results obtained, and multiple photographs of damage. We hope the current book will be a document you can retain in the office and refer to it whenever you suspect any similar problem to arise. Once again, a big thank you for your support and the trust you have placed in us. Thank you. Have a good day, good evening.